How do I look?
Pretty stressed out.
Damn.
Why does it matter how you look? You don't typically care about that.
Because this isn't some ordinary visitor. This is Donkey Kong we're talking about.
I know. He expands your dong.
He does that to every human being. You act like that's just natural.
Technically, that is natural.
Not the way he does it.
Well, you better hurry up, bruv. He's supposed to be in 10 minutes.
On backlog, been gone for way too long. On backlog, got so many games to play, dog. On backlog, Donkey Kong expands my dome. On backlog, me and Carlo been fucking since dawn. On backlog, did you know that Carlo wears thongs? On backlog, I really fucking hate this song. Yeah. What is up, guys? It is Robert at Gaming with me, and welcome to Back at the Backlog, the series where we take a look at the games that I recently beat off my backlog. Today's episode is on the game Donkey Kong Country Returns. The Donkey Kong Country franchise is one that I do have quite a bit of history with. I do own all the Donkey Kong Country games. I played and finished the fantastic original Donkey Kong Country on the Wii U Virtual Console, but I do own a physical Super Nintendo copy. I also have Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest, which I played some of but never finished, Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Tropical Freeze is one of my favorite games of all time, as I feel it's platforming perfection, so of course I was always super interested to go back and play Donkey Kong Country Returns, as platformers is also my favorite genre. In 2010, when this was released, I'm pretty sure I got this game for Christmas. I must have, but at the same time I actually traded in all my Wii games and the Wii itself for the Xbox 360, as that would be the only way I'd be able to afford it at 11 years old. It is a trade-in that I still regret to this day, but at the same time, timeline wise, it doesn't really add up. I might have never actually gotten this game in 2010, I don't remember. Fast forward though to 2014 and I had the Wii U, and so I rebought Donkey Kong Country Returns to play on there, which I did play and got like halfway through the game, but of course the usual me stop playing the game kicked in. I even have a video of me when I was 15 years old talking about the pickup.
November, it's about to be December, can you believe it? It's crazy, oh my god. But anyway, let's get right into it because I bought way more games than I thought I would buy. So, the first game that I bought for November 2014 was Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Funny enough, literally this month a remastered version of the game launched on Nintendo Switch, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I decided to stick with this Wii original as I try to stick with the original versions of the game. I already own this version, and well, the game already looks pretty damn good on the Wii U anyway, so I just didn't see a need to rebuy it. There's also a 3DS version, but again, like I said, I stuck with the original. Donkey Kong Country Returns released on November 21st, 2010 for the US. It was developed by Retro Studios and published by Nintendo. Was it worth returning to Returns after playing the amazing Tropical Freeze? Well, here we are 15 years after its original release. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the story first. On the island where Donkey Kong lives, a tribe of Tikis called the Tiki Tak Tribe awakens. They hypnotize the animals of the land to steal Donkey Kong's bananas. When they try to hypnotize the Kongs, it doesn't work, so Donkey Kong goes out to save the island and take back all his bananas. You beat the shit out of one of the Tikis and hop out of DK's home, and the game starts right then and there. It's a straight to the point comical story that sets up the enemies you'll be fighting, which is all you need. Right off the bat, visually this game is beautiful and absolutely one of the best looking games on Wii. The world is amazing and full of life with things constantly moving in the background and foreground. With its 2.5D perspective, Donkey Kong will interact with multiple layers of the environments, creating incredible looking set pieces. You'll travel to a variety of locations on the island with its own unique setting but all connected. I loved entering the first level of a new world and seeing the transition of the previous world into the new setting. Everything in the level design feels natural, as if it has a reason to be where it is. For example, one enemy is this jumping frog, but he's not jumping just to jump to block Donkey Kong. No, if you look closely, there's a fly flying around him and he hops up to try to eat the fly. It's a detail that isn't necessary at all, but shows the pure attention and creative design done to this world. These are obstacles in DK's way, but they are there for a reason. There just aren't many 2D platformers that thinks the way Donkey Kong Country Returns does.
If the frog isn't really an enemy, why does Donkey Kong attack the frog?
The frog is in DK's way.
Yeah, but why attack it? Just ask it to move.
Because asking it to move is not an action in the goddamn game.
Well, I guess you're right.
There's really not a guessing in this scenario, but whatever. As this game demands precision platforming, controls are super important, and yes, this game nails the controls. Donkey Kong controls much heavier than someone like Mario, which makes sense as he's an ape, but again, a lot of games wouldn't even think about that. It makes this series feel so unique with a heavier character. When descending from a jump, DK drops fast. A normal jump is pretty low, so you have to get momentum with this big ass ape. I played with the Wii Remote on its side, which just feels so naturally comfortable. Pressing 1 allows you to grab, but also run, creating momentum for a longer, higher jump. You can then shake the Wii Remote to roll DK, creating the most momentum, jumping even further than the running jump. This allows for some fun and clever momentum-based level design. However, shaking the Wii Remote has multiple functions. Shaking while standing still, you can slam the ground, causing enemies to get dazed around you, or more often interact with the level, as in breaking rocks or triggering some sort of event, and ducking while shaking makes DK blow some wind to reveal secrets within the world. Motion control for Wii games is always a debated topic. For me, I love the Wii and a lot of the motion controls, and well, obviously the good games, but I do think that there's one too many actions tied to shaking in this game. Blowing wind could have easily been ducking and pressing B. B for blow. You know what I mean? It kind of works out. It's right on the back as you play and you never use it. It's probably not the most ideal spot, but you don't do it so crazy often, so I just think that would make more sense. Because earlier on, I'd string together a few too many shaking of the Wii Remote moments, and it can be ever so slightly tiring. I got over it quickly, but there are many motion control sticklers out there, and they definitely could have at least given the option of buttons. In the end of the day, I like shaking the Wii Remote to slam the ground or beat the shit out of Tiki's compared to mashing a button, as I'm not very fast at that. And I can never get faster than this, man. Oh, man. Although my left hand, I could go, look, my left thumb faster than this. Yeah. And while shaking to roll worked 95% of the time for me, it's that 5% of the time that makes me go, I wanted to roll there, that should have worked. And probably would have worked better with a button, but it is what it is. They should have had the option for buttons, even though I would have very likely stuck with motion controls because I do enjoy them. It's just, you know, options are good. Then one thing I noticed was the inconsistency when ducking. Holding down on the D-pad has DK duck down to avoid objects. For some reason, DK occasionally would get up really quick and go back down and duck, causing a decent amount of unnecessary hits and deaths throughout the whole game. I saw a few others having that issue online, but it's not this super widespread thing that I see people talk about, but it is 15 years old, so I don't know. I never had problems with my Wii Remote in other 2D side-scrollers for ducking, so I don't know. Maybe it's just my Wii Remote, but history doesn't say it is. I just think I would press 0.1% to the right and cause DK to pop up for a second. I think it's just super sensitive, as it was fine when I only pressed the very bottom tip of the D-pad with my thumb, which I had to start doing. That was admittedly annoying, which definitely got addressed in Tropical Freeze, but it could just be the Wii U's gamepad's D-pad is bigger. I don't know. Regardless, other than ducking, the controls are fantastic. It's one of the most tightest and unique platformers you could ever play, and that continues in the level design. You go through some of the most memorable and creative level designs in platforming history with fantastic catchy music to hum as you repeat sections over and over as you die a ton. Yes, this game is pretty fucking hard. In fact, it's probably one of the most challenging games I've ever played in my entire life if I really think about it. There is a shop run by the awesomely hilarious Cranky Kong where you could purchase lives with the banana coins you collect throughout the levels. After depleting like 20 lives, I bought 99 lives, died through them all, bought another 99 lives, died through them all, and bought another like 90 something lives. I died probably 300 times, if not more, considering you gain lives throughout the game too. The game does not hold back, and even when I raged yelling, "Motherfucking cock, shit, bitch, ass, ah!" oh, I continued with a smile on my face. That's because this is challenging in the best way possible. It is fair as hell. Other than the occasional ducking stuff, if I died, it's because I fucked up. The creativity, music, the constant surprising level set pieces made me constantly smile in amazement no matter how many times I died, because the game is so much fun. You genuinely never know what's next as the game is fast paced, consistently spewing different and new ideas out. One level will have you riding on top of a whale, and as it goes underwater, you'll jump off traveling on the platforms above. But then the whale starts breaking the platforms while underwater, so you gotta run faster, having the whale be both the stage as a helpful platform when above water and an enemy wrecking away your platform when underwater. You'll travel to the caves filled with over-the-top minecart and barrel auto-scrolling sections that consistently test your reactions in crazy set pieces. Another world has you travel to a factory with a completely different environment and unexpected mechanical surroundings to deal with. Each world is unique and changes more and more drastically as you go deeper in your journey across 8 different worlds, with difficulty continuously increasing.
Bro, how about that level with the giant octopus constantly popping up in the level, creating a super dynamic design?
Hells yeah! That level was amazing! We could be here all day breaking down how awesome these damn levels are. Within levels, there's several collectibles to look for. You got your bananas, and every 100 grants you an extra life. Like I mentioned earlier, the banana coins can be used to purchase stuff at Cranky's shop. Since I would purchase a huge amount of lives at once, I pretty much stopped collecting all the bananas along the way as it pretty much lost its purpose. Puzzle pieces are in every level, and collecting all will unlock concept art. Honestly, I didn't go out of my way to collect the puzzle pieces as that's a crazy challenge in an already tough game and unlock something that I could look up online. However, I did indeed collect every single Kong letter in the game. Every level will have a typically tricky place K, O, N, and G letters to grab and collect. Collecting every single one in that world will unlock the world's K level. These levels are special challenge levels that will test you more than you already are. They are brutal as hell, and I just had to play them as I wanted to check out all the levels I could in this game. It feels incredibly satisfying to beat these levels and truly see everything in that world. These levels are filled with tight jumps, fast moving and reaction based platforming. Shit is no joke. Each world has a boss of the annual verse, and they all were genuinely solid with different ways to defeat each one. Each boss is an animal that is being hypnotized by a tiki, and once you take out the boss, you'll run up to one of the tikis and beat the shit out of them. It's a lot of fun and feels very rewarding after finishing a tough boss battle. DK isn't always alone on the journey as you occasionally run into Rambi the Rhino. While on Rambi, you could destroy a whole bunch of things you couldn't before, such as spikes on the ground or huge boulders blocking your path. And then Shaking will have Rambi run faster than anybody else in the game. It's always great to complete a level as Rambi. That's not it though, as throughout a lot of the levels you'll see a barrel moving around with knocking noises with a big DK on it. Throwing it reveals Diddy Kong and adds him as a partner for Donkey Kong. Diddy Kong is super helpful as he's his own character, adding an additional 2 hits to your health. Once Diddy Kong takes the 2 hits, he's gone, and Donkey Kong is by himself again. You can use Diddy Kong's barrel jetpack to glide for a moment after a jump, helping tremendously in many sticky situations. He also enhances the roll by letting DK roll non-stop. I loved having Diddy Kong around as he's fun to play as, and the two of them together create some funny moments. You could also play as Diddy Kong by himself when playing with another player, which is very cool, but it would have been nice to have the choice while playing solo in that case if he's already truly playable. The character animations are so damn funny and expressive in this game. Sliding down the sandy hill will have Donkey Kong wiping off sand when reaching the bottom. There's a cool idle animation where DK will pull out a Nintendo DS, play some games, and then throw it away. The enthusiasm in DK's voice is just the literal best. Donkey Kong is pumped up, and it pumps me up, making me laugh and smile when playing. These characters are just so full of life in this game. After getting through a bunch of worlds, you finally reach the 8th world and final boss, which I'm now going to talk about just to let you know. The 8th world is Volcano, exploring this fiery area that looks absolutely amazing with the volcano sparks in the air creating this tense atmosphere. The music in this world reminds me of the Metroid Prime series, the other franchise Retro Studios worked on, and the same composer, so not exactly surprising, but very cool to hear. Once you get through a bunch of tough lava levels, you then get to the end to fight the final boss. Typically every single boss level is just straight up the boss, but this last one is different, in which you first have to survive a barrel rocket section. It took me a few tries, but nothing too crazy. Definitely a lot of fun. Once you get to the top, this menacing entrance awaits. A cutscene starts with Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong getting up to see their bananas, but the Tikis all surround the bananas, throwing it inside of this giant Tiki leader, and he uses the bananas to sacrifice the other Tikis and create some powerful ass hands. Now this is it. This is the final boss. This motherfucker was pretty tough, taking almost a half hour to finish. He'll slice his hands from one side to another, so you gotta duck underneath them, and unfortunately, there were several times where the ducking did indeed fail, which was super frustrating. Luckily, he'll throw out hearts a few times throughout the battle, but it could be tough to even reach them without getting hit. He'll also clap his hands together, and I could just rarely get the timing of that jump down. To avoid that attack, you gotta time your peak jump perfectly. It's pretty brutal. Then he'll try to smash DK, in which you roll out of the way and finally fight back by jumping on the red gem of his hands. With enough tacks, one hand will be destroyed, and you'll have to repeat the process with his other hand until that is destroyed. With just his head, he'll throw out flaming enemies to avoid, swing back and forth, and slam into the ground, causing fire to spill out of the sides. You gotta be quick to avoid the flames and jump on the top of his red button head. I ended up using an extra heart that you could purchase from Cranky, as I knew I was going to get hit at least once, which I did a lot. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish it with Diddy Kong, so DK had to go solo, which, cool enough, has its own CG cutscene without Diddy Kong. After many attempts, I quickly jumped this bastard's head, and DK slams into him, causing him to explode into a ton of bananas, launching DK into space all the way to the moon! As he's falling, he gets an idea to destroy the Tiki Tribe once and for all, and that is to punch the fucking moon out of orbit and smash it into the Tiki Tribe's volcano, demolishing their existence and springing the moon back into space. The island and bananas are saved. DK is falling back into the atmosphere, hilariously blowing his hand as it's all red from punching the moon of all things, and Diddy Kong catches DK. They land safely and they celebrate the absolute win of the century, and then the credits roll. What a fucking ending. Tough but cool boss battle and level in general, with a hilarious over-the-top ending cutscene. Donkey Kong is the fucking man. Or ape. The fucking goat ape. Smashing the moon with his hands? That's pretty great shit. After the credits, there's a post-credit scene for those who collected all the Kong letters in every level and beat every K level. So while you finish the game, there's still one last level in the form of 9-1, the Golden Temple. DK unlocks the entrance to the Golden Temple, and waiting for him is a golden banana. As he opens it up and scoops a piece to eat, it transfers him to a different world in the sky, and this is the final challenge. It's a tough level that took me a half hour of tries to finish. It's a level that takes place high in the sky with pretty much all of the platforms being fruits from bananas to strawberries to blueberries. It's a level with no checkpoints, just constant tight jumps and some enemies in your way. Admittedly, breaking down the level, it's a bit uninspired as it truly is just small platforms to jump through for a majority of the level. What mixes it up is the fruit design, but the level layout itself is nothing too creative. It's a challenge for sure, but no shit, jumping between small platforms that move for a long time with no checkpoints is tough, but not exactly that interesting. Once you beat the level, you unlock Mirror Mode. What is Mirror Mode? Well, it's a mode where you could play the entire game again in a flipped version of each level. You can't get Diddy Kong in any of the levels. You can't use anything from your inventory that you bought, and you die in one hit no matter what. Holy shit, that's insanity. That's murder mode. That's something I would never touch unless I just hate myself. You gotta be a genuine masochist to be into that shit. That would definitely be the hardest gaming thing I'd ever do, and that sounds horrible. But hey, they put that for a reason. Some people are literally masochists. And the reward for beating the whole game in mirror mode is unlocking more concept art and putting your completion number higher to 200% if you also did the time attack mode. Which, yeah, there's also another crazy hard mode in which you have to beat levels in a fast time. Yeah, fuck that too. Unlocking art that I could look up on Google is absolutely not worth destroying my insanity. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy extras like that in games a lot. But no. No. Look, if it unlocked extra levels, I probably still wouldn't do it, but it would be more enticing.
I actually 200%ed the game myself. I thought it wasn't too challenging.
Did you record it?
Oh. No, I forgot actually.
Okay. Anyway, that was
Wait.
dumb.
You have nothing to say.
You have nothing to show, so I have nothing to say. I told you this last time. I mean, actually, we could check your save data.
Well, actually, I deleted it. I thought I'd play through it again.
Yeah, okay, I call bullshit. Anyway, that was Donkey Kong Country Returns. What a fantastic game. One of my favorites I've played on this whole Backlog series so far. My favorite genre is the platformer, and this is one of the greatest platformers of all time. The incredible and detailed, challenging yet fair level design, the personality of the world, the amazing music, the gorgeous visuals all culminate to damn near platforming perfection. The only thing stopping me from calling it perfection is the ducking. It was just a little too inconsistent for me, but other than that, I have no complaints. Mind you, that complaint could have been addressed in either the 3DS or Switch versions of the game, so maybe those versions are platforming perfection. Those versions also don't have motion controls, so others might like that more. Regardless, this is a masterclass in game design that, crazy enough, was surpassed by the masterpiece sequel of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I have no ducking complaints with that game, and they somehow go even crazier with ideas, which just shows how talented Retro Studios are. Overall, I'm gonna give Donkey Kong Country Returns a... The dong did indeed expand. Out of 10. What a phenomenal game. I just had such a great time with it. I'm excited to go and return to the last two Super Nintendo games and check them out one day. That'll be it for today though. Thank you so much for watching. Have you played Donkey Kong Country Returns? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Donkey Kong Country Returns was a phenomenal platformer, but it is officially out of the backlog.
Rob, you coming out? DK is here.
Okay, I'm going.
So, what do you think about the Switch 2?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Looks okay.
Donkey Kong,
Bloody hell, you scared me!
I've waited for this moment for a very long time.
Rob?
DK, you have a very special gift.
Rob, you got something.
I am honored to be in your presence.
Rob, we can tell. Please, look down.
Nibbler, DK knows what he does to a man. This expanded dong is a gift from him.
Oh, God.
He makes us expand more than our horizons. He makes us rise like Jesus on the third day. Every day we see him. DK, I ask you, will you please beat my dog?
Rob, why the bloody fuck would you ask that?
Okay.
Yes? Why would you say yes?
It's okay. This is a life-changing ritual.
Should I even be watching this?
Please do. Witness the strength of Donkey Kong as he punches the dong off my body.
What? Rob! 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 Did he just die? Rob!
Can't a man have his dog ritual done in peace?
God damn it, Rob! What the fuck?
Thank you, DK. I'll never forget this. If I could ask for one more thing, though, I would be honored if you picked out our next game.
Okay.